All right, hey everybody. I have been waiting to get this off my chest ever since I watched the video earlier today. And so normally I have like a couple days to get prepared for my live streams, but today I had to just hurry up and get everything together. So thank you for bearing with me as I get everything set up here. I hope my background noise is not too loud. Somebody sounds like they're using some power tools and it's super loud. Hey Coyote 4K, this is I believe one of your first times coming in on a live stream, so thank you so much for joining me. I am going to do a very quick shout out on Instagram and let them know that I am live. So bear with me, you guys. Let me know your city and state, the city and state that you're watching. She said, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch that whole video. Oh, you're gonna get the details, don't worry. All right, guys, so let me do a really quick one. Oh, that thing is gonna bug me. It's so loud. Okay. All right, we'll see if it lets me. And of course, it's glitching right now. Okay, here we go. Hey everybody, I am live right now, going live on YouTube. I am unpacking the conversation that I promised I would have about the pastor in Missouri who told women they need to lose weight and not be so butch. So make sure you join me. I'm going to leave this on for just a second as a little teaser. You guys can see me here. All right, so we got we got Jay in Texas who started it all. I was minding my own business this morning, watching the stories on Instagram, and I see his post about the guy in Missouri and what he had to say about women. He covered sex, he covered losing weight, he covered the way they do their hair. So we are going to get into a lot of stuff. So if you guys are watching here on Instagram, get over here on YouTube. The link is in my bio. Check it out because I have a lot to say, y'all. This is not off the dome. I put some thought into this and we are going to unpack it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off at Instagram and give you guys my undivided attention. I'll see you guys on YouTube. All right, so we've got that and we're going to share this here. All right, guys, watch now. This is what happens when we do live, y'all. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay. Anyway, so let's start out with the facts. She said I was just done. I'm like, I'm good. Now, I warned the women that this is going to be kind of a difficult video to watch. But as people know me, I am unfiltered. I am not worried about being politically correct, but I am going to warn people. This is not a video for political correctness. So if you have a light stomach, you might be not much of a fan of me after this, but I believe this is the truth, and I believe that the truth sets people free, even if it's uncomfortable. So get ready. So we've got Texas in the house. Let me know, the others of you who are watching, where you are watching from, and do me a favor, hit that like button if you guys want to let YouTube know that this is the type of content that more people can see. Let's have some real conversations, ladies and gentlemen. Real conversations. All right, so as my caption mentioned here, what happened? What the hell is going on that I am so fired up about? Oh, we got a South Carolina. Very nice. Okay, so there was a pastor. He's 55 years old. His name is Stuart Allen Clark. He was placed on leave after giving a controversial sermon. Okay, this happened last month, February 21st. Now, nobody even knew about it. Like, his congregants saw it. It wasn't a big deal. But somebody at the Friendly Atheist got their hands on it and they shared the sermon. So after that, it went viral. So for those of you who are watching the replay, today is Wednesday, March 10th, 2021. This happened on Sunday, February 21st, 2021. So quite some time has passed by, but it went viral because of them sharing it. Okay, we got a Virginia. Yay. Hey, John. Hey, John. Super excited. I'm actually going to be on John's podcast coming up soon. So very nice to see you here supporting my live stream. All right, so this is what the headlines splash. Missouri pastor tells women to lose weight for husbands. Sexist sermon. Okay, pastor tells women to not be so butch. Now, of course, as a woman, if I see this, it's like, what the hell are they talking about? But one of the things that I pride myself on is I don't like going off of titles. I don't like going off of sound bites. I'm a big fan of context, and I like to see what's happening. I've always been like this, and now as a content creator, I especially know the importance of that, because I have had people take a headline out of what I said, and I usually try to say something titillating, but it's to make a point. And if you don't get it in context, you're going to be like, where is she going with that? So I think it's important for people to not only, click on the clickbait, but actually read things in context. We got another text says, hey, Patricia, that's my girl. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, guys, I know this is not my normal time. I'm not used to there being daylight outside, but we're just going to go into this. Okay, so now that we're all up to speed on what happened, there was a pastor. He shared the story. Now, you know what? I'm gonna go out of order a little bit on this, okay? Because I got the things that I want to talk about. Okay, so let's get into. I'm trying to think if I want to go out of order. No, I think I'm gonna go out of order. All right, so let's talk about what is his agenda. And bear with me because, like I said, I do all of my techie stuff myself, and so it's a little bit difficult to try to talk and do this at the same time. There we go. I was having a little bit of an issue here. All right, so let's dig deeper. Let's talk about what the agenda is, because if you go off of the headlines alone and the sound bites, it's gonna sound like he is a sexist pig. And as you can see from the comments here, somebody says, I can't wait to hear about this. I effing hate this guy. Someone else says, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even watch that whole video. Here's the thing. On its face, it sounds disgusting. Who is this guy? And I'm gonna be candid, okay? So if he ends up watching this, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be honest. He's not in shape, okay? So you have the messenger saying to the audience to get in shape. That right there on the optics, you're gonna lose a lot of people. But this is why it's really important for us to understand what the agenda is. Is his agenda to put women down and just be, a chauvinist? Is that his deal? Does he look down on women? That is not the issue, in my opinion, based on understanding where he's coming from and listening to the entire clip that was 22 minutes long, which wasn't even the whole sermon. It starts, part of the way in. I believe it went all the way to the end, but it starts part of the way in, so we don't even know what the beginning of it is. But here's the thing. With women, we say let me back up because I'm trying to unpack this in a neat order. Women tend to use emotion, and we often say that men use logic. And so women are having an emotional reaction to this information, but there's actually a very logical way that we can look at this. And so in this video, I want to use logic to unpack what he's saying and why I personally think that not only should he not be dismissed, he should be heralded, okay? She said, I wouldn't even be comfortable saying those words if I was overweight. No diss, that's just me. And I get it. I totally get it. That's honestly, I'll be really transparent. That is one of the reasons why I am doing what I'm doing in my life. Because if I'm telling people to go out and live their best life, part of living your best life is to take care of yourself. And I preach self-love. So for me, if I'm overweight, who am I going to tell somebody about their fitness journey and, getting all they can out of life? So that's why I'm up every day at 4 a.m. That's why I'm doing 3 miles a day. That's why I'm lifting weights and doing things to shed. And I've been shedding a lot of weight so that my message, which I think is an amazing message, it doesn't get lost because of the messenger. All right. So we're going to get into all that. You guys are bringing up excellent points, and we're going to get into all of that. So like I said, women are going to naturally have an emotional response, which is why I said a lot of women are probably going to write me off with this, but I want you guys to use logic. Okay. Now let's look at cancel culture quickly, and then we're going to get into the meat of this. Okay. Cancel culture really, really pisses me off. For one, because a lot of people will cancel based on headlines. They will cancel based on a little snippet and they don't hear the whole thing. So it's really, really frustrating because as a result of this guy, and I'm sorry I'm reading because I don't want to butcher any of these names or titles. The organization behind him said that his speech included comments that were not consistent with the positions and values of General Baptists. And then they made a statement. The First General Baptist Church Deacon Ministry said that as of March 2nd, that pastor has taken a leave of absence and he's seeking professional counseling. Now, this man, whether you agree with him or not, he just stated his thoughts and he had a very beautiful agenda. So let's just look at this, okay? He freely spoke his mind in a place that we are supposed to have, you know, the ability to have freedom of speech. And people say, well, there's no, you don't have freedom from the consequences. And I agree with that. However, I don't think that people are using logic when they're canceling him. And like I said, I promise you, I'm going to get into why. My thing is, if I don't like something, I just don't support it. I just turn away. I turn it off. There's plenty of stuff that I don't like, and I just turn away. That is what we are told, the minority, because I'm the minority on a lot of things. A lot of mainstream media will do things that I think are egregious. And if anyone states a problem with it, their solution is, we'll turn away, change the channel, don't watch. But the fact that this man who was sharing something that his audience, his congregants, were really, really enjoying, he is now canceled. And I feel that the organization behind him felt like they had to do what they needed to do to not get heat. We live in a day and age where if something goes viral, it could have a lot of detrimental effects. He said Melania Trump was bad. And I think he means bad, like good. But again, we're going to get into all of that. We're going to touch on every single thing that you're saying. She said, I don't think he was all wrong. It's just much more to what he said. Okay, more than what he said. All right, so. This is what I want to say, because I said I'm jumping around, so I apologize, you guys. My mouse, for some reason, is just really struggling with hitting these buttons. So the issue for me is the double standard. The double standard is infuriating, and that's why I am most upset, because it would be one thing if women were to boldly state what they want in men and everyone's like, cancel her! But it's not the case. It seems like it's only when men give their unfiltered opinions and they speak their truth. It's not spewing hate. It's literally speaking their truth. They get canceled. And so for me, whether I like something or not, I hate hypocrisy more than I hate what I'm against. I do not like double standards. And I do not like seeing women who boldly on the corner just will blurt out whatever they want in a man and whatever they don't like in men. But the minute a man turns around and in that same exact spirit dares to speak his truth, suddenly they are offended and he is the worst thing in the world. He is Satan himself. So that's the behind the scenes, sorry for being so long and getting out why I'm so fired up, but that's the reason behind it. And now we're going to unpack the video. Okay. So we need to look at, he said, didn't the girl who said she doesn't want a 9-to-5 man get canceled? She did, but I don't think that's the norm. I really, really, really don't think that's the norm. Or that she didn't want the 9-to-5. Okay? I don't think that's the norm for people to get canceled. So I want to look at, this little, let's see if I can flip this over if this is going to help. My little mouse does not work very well on this surface. So I want to get into his agenda, okay? Let's understand the reason why the pastor made these comments, because they were not disparaging comments at all. He said maybe women feel like men don't pull their weight, no pun intended, enough to be demanding. I don't know, just guessing. And now that could be fair. Okay, that could be fair. However, the guys could turn around and say the same thing. So if you are going to have a position, be prepared for the other people to have a position. So if these women are saying, for example, I want a guy who makes 6 figures and I want a guy who's this tall and I want a guy, the guys are simply saying, if you want this, then this is what we require. If this is what you value, understand what we value. The problem is that the women do not want it both ways. They want to be able to say, men, you're not hitting the standard, but are livid when a man says, well, you're not hitting our standard, okay? So y'all get into my notes. This is what I'm going to get into today. Okay, so his agenda, like I said, was not to put women down. It was actually to build affair-proof marriages. He referenced a book that I actually already had, okay? I just saw this today. I didn't run out and get this. This is a book I already had. And the caption says, the tagline says, building an affair-proof marriage. You obviously can't take somebody who's just, wanting to cheat, and you can't make someone not cheat if they just want to cheat. However, You can do certain things that put cheating so far out of your partner's mind that it would behoove you to do them. And that's what this book is about. It's explaining what his needs are, and it's explaining what her needs are. And you notice it doesn't just say their needs. It's because his needs differ greatly from her needs. There are some overlapping things, but there are a lot of things that are different. And oftentimes we go wrong. If you see in my live stream I did yesterday with Cassandra, our problem as women is that we only focus on our needs, and we don't put the same kind of energy into understanding his needs. Therefore, when he acts a certain way, we're just dumbfounded, like, why did he do that? And they're trying to tell us. But men have stopped trying to tell us because why? We can't listen. We go into emotional mode and not logical mode. He said you should have had Kevin Samuels on here for that. It would be amazing. And what's interesting is he talks about this stuff that I'm talking about, but for me, and I did a video about him, I don't like the spirit in which I feel he does his content. I don't like the spirit. I don't feel like love permeates. And for me, when I share a message, my goal is not to offend people. My goal is not to make people feel stupid. I actually want people to be educated so that they can have love. And I want people to walk away feeling loved. And if somebody walks away feeling pissed off and they don't walk away feeling loved, I feel like that is more important, that they feel loved, than anything else. And so just my take, sometimes I feel that he is trying to be provocative as opposed to really being heard. But I could be wrong. He could just be greatly misunderstood. But listening to his stuff live, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about him, I just feel that there's an air of cockiness that comes across and a better than attitude rather than, hey, I just want to help women understand what men really want. Because I do think at the end of the day, that's his message. This is what men want. But getting back to the point, his needs, her needs, if you give the person what they need, they are less likely to look elsewhere. And so that was the agenda of the pastor. This is what you have to understand. He has done couples counseling for years. He has literally sat with couples. He's like, I can't do it anymore. He sat with couples and listened to what men and women want. And after a while, when you hear man after man after man after man after man saying the same thing, at some point you're like, there's a pattern here. And then you as a man are like, these are exactly my thoughts. Then you start to realize this is important information. So what he did was he took an opportunity to use his platform and let women get inside the heads of men. Now, what he did was he explained how men think based on the way that they are wired. And here's the problem. We as women want men, but we don't want to understand what they need. And if we do look into it and start to find out what he needs, what do? We get pissed off. And we think that it's unfair, and we think it's disgusting, and we think that they're chauvinists, but they're just telling us what they need and what they want and what makes them tick. You can either look at it and say, oh my God, that is horrible and disgusting, or you can say, I now know the game. I now know the game. If somebody says, wear a red t-shirt and I will hire you, you could think that is the stupidest thing. But guess what? If you want to get that job, please believe you're going to put on that red shirt, okay? Nothing that he said, and I'm about to break down everything that he said, nothing that he said was dehumanizing. He wasn't telling people, put your wives on a leash and walk around like a dog. He wasn't telling her to do anything inhumane, okay? These are normal things that a woman would probably do on her own, but it's the fact that it came out of a man's mouth, that is what's pissing the women off. Now, hey Rashid from Chi-Town, shout out. Okay, this is the part where ladies, I said at the beginning, please go with logic. Please leave your emotions aside for a minute. Just think about this logically. If you are upset about a man telling you to change, then you cannot be okay with telling a man how to change. You have to pick a lane. Either one gender keeps their mouth closed and doesn't give their honest feedback about the other gender, or they can freely explain what they want in the hopes that the other gender will wake up and get it. Ladies, we sit around and we talk about, ooh, we want a guy who's tall. We want a guy who has his money together. We want a guy who's consistent. We want a guy with big old strong muscles. We want a guy who doesn't have 50 million baby mamas. We want a guy who is intelligent. We want a guy with clean nails. I say I want a guy with side teeth. You know, we have all these things that we want. But guess what? One of the big things that women say, a man can't even control, and it's his height. We want a man who is over 6 feet tall, most of us. We want a guy who's tall, and he can't even control that. But if a man turns around and says, I'm attracted to a woman who is in shape, end of the world. End of the world. This is the part that's so wild to me. If we strapped most people who are overweight to a lie detector test, and we said, if you could push a button and lose weight, would you want to? What do you think they're going to say? You think people are like, nah, I love the extra weight. I love dragging this extra 50, 60, 100 pounds. No, they're going to say I want to lose weight. So why in the world would you be upset at somebody saying they want the same thing that you want for yourself? Like, if given the choice, if we had the exact same person, Bob A and Bob B, same heart, same drive, same mind, same backstory, same everything, but this Bob is in shape and this guy is sloppy overweight, we're all picking this guy. It doesn't make us shallow, it makes us human. People who are in shape have more energy. There's so many, I don't have to get into it. It's a lot. But then on top of it, it's just more attractive. Seeing a fit body is more attractive. That is how we were created. We are born without excessive weight. We're not intended to be drastically overweight. Our frames are not built for it. Scientifically speaking, this is where I warn people, I'm not being politically correct. We are being politically correct to say it doesn't matter. We have eyeballs. There's a reason why certain people are on the covers of magazines. It's because it gets attention. People who are beautiful get attention. People who have fit physiques get attention. And here's the thing, men aren't asking people to be stick figures and models. They're not looking for women to be drop dead gorgeous. They're simply saying, don't be sloppy. Now, he said, damn, Yancy don't like the thick boy. Well, here's the crazy part. I don't like skinny dudes. And it doesn't even have to be huge muscles. Like, I just like a dude who looks like he's not about to blow away, you know, if a good wind kicks up. You know, I got curves. So I need a man who looks like he could, you know, pick me up if need be. So I'm not really into that track physique with the rules. No, I'm not. Because we'll just leave that alone. But the point is that we need to stop being so offended. We need to stop being so offended by somebody talking about their preference when we have preferences. The difference is that what women prefer tends to be more external, outside of the muscles and the height. Women tend to look for stability. They want financial stability oftentimes. They want to see that he has enough money to be able to afford a nice house, afford a family, be able to afford for her to stay home so she can be with her kids. A lot of people want that. And the guys can't get mad about that. That's just how we're wired. We, with feminine energy, are designed to nurture. Men are designed to provide. So we desire providers and they desire nurturers. Come on, can we like put down the weapons and just be honest with how we're wired? Okay? So that's the agenda. The emotion says, love me for who I am and not what I look like. Who are you to judge? Okay? That's the natural emotional response. And the logic says, you're being truthful. You as men are very visual creatures, more than women, which is why the guy can be not so attractive. Hint, hint, Donald Trump and Melania. That is not a match. But if you look at what women tend to want, resources, and what men tend to want, beauty, they're a perfect match. Rich man, beautiful woman, okay? So we cannot compare apples and oranges. Yes, it is distracting because he's not in shape and asking his woman to be in shape, but you don't know what he's providing financially. She might be totally fine with his dad bod, okay? So all I'm doing is passing on the truth. Please don't come for the messenger. All right, so now let's get into it. We're gonna get into the context of what was said, and so that we can really break down what he said. Okay, you guys have been super patient, but I had to give all that pre-stuff before I could get into this meat here. All right, looking at your comments. Okay. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you are feeling this, but she did get cheated on. Did she? I don't know. I didn't know she got cheated on. But and that's the thing. It's not about the fact that the person won't cheat, because whoever's a cheater is gonna cheat. But there are some people who are really good people who struggle because they're not getting their flesh satisfied. So, and we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know what her personality is like. But anyway, guys, let me know if you guys are liking this by hitting that like. Oh, got you. Let me know if you are enjoying this, and hit that like button so YouTube knows this is the type of content that more people should see. If you don't like it, that's fine. No obligation to like it. But if you do, please smash that like button. Okay, so let's talk about what actually happened. And this is the context, okay, in which he said, like I said, he's counseled couples for years. He knows what men want and need. After all, he's a man himself. This is what he said. He said, don't give him a reason to be looking around. I quote, I really don't believe women understand how visual men are. He added, I don't think women understand how important it is for a man to have a beautiful woman on his arm. Now, if you can get past the shock of it all, if you can get past what seems like shallowness, and look at this like we are scientists doing research. We are doing research on what men are into, okay? They are very visual. They will see a beautiful woman and be so drawn by her beauty, he will want to get to know her because he's so drawn in by her beauty. And he said, you can call it juvenile, immature, or sexist. He said, but God made men to be drawn to beautiful women. We are made this way. We can't help ourselves. Now, if you look at Jacob in the Bible, literally, so back then, men had multiple wives. It wasn't an issue. They took care of all of them. But Jacob was tricked into marrying Leah, which is Rebekah's older sister. Leah was not a looker, and Leah's family was having a hard time getting her married off. He saw Rebekah, and after being tricked, he worked for 7 years for her hand. He was tricked and given Leah. After working 7 years, he agreed to work 7 more to get a second wife, which is his first choice, Rebekah. Men have been like this since the beginning of time. They have been seriously drawn to beauty. Samson gave away everything for Delilah because she was beautiful and he was caught up, okay? That's just how they're wired. It is what it is. I'm not here to judge it. I'm not here to say if it's good or bad, but I want a man, so it behooves me to understand a man. If I want to just be mad about it, then I can be single, and that's not what I'm trying to do. Men who have beautiful wives get cheated on. That's what a lot of people are having a problem with. And here's the thing. This is the thing. It is possible for somebody to cheat, even if somebody does everything right. That's why I started off this live stream by saying this is not a bulletproof system. This cannot, even though the title says building an affair-proof marriage, I like to change it to say increasing your odds for the person not to cheat. Because if somebody wants to do dirt, if somebody wants to cheat, they're going to cheat. It doesn't matter. That's just for them struggling with self-control. However, there are certain things that you can do to help. Now, I'm not trying to compare them to dogs. This is just the analogy that came to my mind. But if you have a food item that's for your family and you don't want your family pet to eat it, you wouldn't put it on the floor. Okay? Yes, your pet could jump up on the counter and eat it, but you don't want to give them temptation. So the more you can take away things like putting food on the floor, the easier you make it for your spouse. So let's just say, for example, a woman marries a guy and she loves how much he's a provider, okay? And then over time, he just decides to be lazy. He stops taking clients. His practice falls apart. And he's like, I'm just going to be a stay-at-home dad. And he stops working. Now, a woman could cheat no matter what, but she's probably going to be more tempted if she stops respecting him and stops seeing the things in him that attracted her. So this is the common sense that I'm trying to share with people so that we can have more tools at our disposal. Because again, don't think that I'm saying if you're great, you're going to keep someone from being toxic. That's not the case. You greaten your odds of them being able to fight temptation. That's what I'm saying. And there is a difference. All right. So yeah, I don't know that I ever heard about Rebekah's side. I always just saw Jacob's side. So let me know if you do find out about that. So anyway, he says men are going to look. They're gonna look, but you want them to be looking at you, and we shouldn't punish men for how they are wired. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So this is what he talks about. He talks about the fact that the man sees the woman, he sees something that he likes enough to put a ring on it. He marries her, and then she says, I got him, let's switch it up. This is the part that I have an issue with, even as a woman. Baiting and switching is not okay. And of course, people are going to say, yeah, but women can have babies and all this stuff, and things can happen. There are outliers. There are, unusual situations to where somebody has some rare condition that they can't lose weight. But how many women do we see who still snap back? Okay? They might not snap back all the way because our hips spread and things like that, but they still can look good. There is a difference between just letting yourself go and not caring and trying to be this unrealistic supermodel. We're not talking about the latter. We are talking about doing what is in your ability to change. It depends on what you put in your mouth. Like that's not a health thing. Everybody has a choice on what they put in their mouth to eat. And they have a choice about getting up and moving. So unless your doctor is telling you, do not move, it's against, medical advice, you can move. You can do jumping jacks. You can run in place. You can take a walk around the block. You can do what it takes to get in shape. Whatever you did to get him is what you should continue to do. I don't want to talk about what the men are doing as a result. I want to always focus on what is in a person's power to do. So as a woman, I can't make a man not cheat. I can't make him be faithful. I can't make him treat me right. But I can do everything to up my odds that my husband will be attracted to me. Okay? This is just like biology. This is not his character. I want to keep my husband as attracted to me as I can. All right, so let's see. So don't switch it up, okay? So after you get married, letting yourself go. And that just goes to show that you knew what it took to get him. Because if you're saying it shouldn't matter, then you should be going to the club in sweats and flip-flops and your hair looking crazy. If you really don't care, if it really doesn't matter how you look, don't be one way when you're single and don't be another when you're married. Okay, can I go there? What about that divorce glow up? Okay, how many women do you know where you saw how they looked while they were married? Then they get a divorce and suddenly they get a cute new hairdo. They start getting in shape. They start doing their makeup again. It's real. Why? Because we want to catch someone's attention. We want to catch someone's attention. And so we do the things that we need to do to catch attention. But if we're doing it because we just want to get what we want and we're not doing it because we actually care about our partner, that is the problem. So if I only get in shape to get a man and I let myself go, I'm not doing it for my partner. And here's the thing. So many people preach, oh, you should do it for yourself, do it for yourself. That is true. But if you decide to bring someone into your world, you put yourself in the back seat. You don't forget about yourself. I'm not ever advocating just lose yourself and give everything to your partner. But what I'm saying is, when you get a partner, you are saying you are now part of my world. If a man is saying I'm going to cut off all other women and be with you, you should give him what he needs. He should not feel like he lost because he married you. Women get excited because when they get married, they are locked in. They get the faithfulness. They get the provision. They legally are entitled to whatever he has. Okay? You have a house to live in, all these things. I'm being broad on purpose, okay? But that's happening. He would have to hurt himself by quitting his job or doing whatever to hurt you. You're getting what you want. But the guy who is really excited about having sex and having this beautiful wife, she can let herself go and she can cut him off from sex. She's not bothered. Plenty of women are super fine not having sex, super fine letting themselves go. But the guy, he's stuck. So I want us to look at things through the man's eyes and not be selfish. Look and see, what does my partner want? And oftentimes there's probably a connection between him not giving you what you want emotionally and you not giving him what he wants physically and visually. Men, am I out to lunch on this one? Am I speaking truth? Let me know. Y'all are super quiet in the comments except for Chastity. Okay? Let me know what you're thinking. And, you know, depending on who's watching, it makes sense with the likes where they are. But if anyone's watching this and they're enjoying it, let me know. He actually said you don't have to look like Melania. Yes, and I'm actually getting to that. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't usually read off the notes, but there were so many things I didn't want to forget to say. That's literally my next bullet point. He went on to say that women don't have to be the epitome of beauty, but they should try to look attractive. And that's why I reference what we do when we're single. Thank you, Rashid. Whatever we did when we're single, just keep that same energy. We're not saying, I'm joking, you went from being a 7, now go get cosmetic surgery to be a 10. That's not what we're saying. If you were a 7, just maintain your 7-ship. I'll make up that word. If you were a 4, maintain your 4-ness. Don't go from an 8 to a 6. Don't go from a 7 to a 5. Maintain. If you kept your nails up when you were single, keep your nails up when you're married. If you went to the gym 3 times a week when you were single, go to the gym 3 times when you're married. If you can't physically get to the gym, which they have daycare, so you should, you can find a way. I guarantee you if somebody said you're about to go on the show and you can make $1 million, you know, you're going to want to look your best before you go on air. You're going to figure it out, okay? All these excuses about, I have kids and no, you work it out. I work 14, 15, sometimes 20-hour days. I get up at 4 in the morning and work out before my day because that's a priority. We make time for what we make time for, okay? Just keep that same energy. He said, oh, perfect. Thank you, Jermaine. Give it a like, you guys, if you're liking it. Thank you. I see the likes going up. I only ask because not for my vanity, but it helps the platform to push it out to more people. If they see people are commenting and they see people are liking and subscribing, it'll push it out to more people. And this isn't going to be popular like, you know, the other stuff, the man bashing stuff and the women bashing stuff. This isn't going to be as popular. So it's harder, you know, for my channel to grow and to get out there because it's not as popular. So thank you for those of you who have hit that like button, hit the subscribe and have commented and shared the video. That's awesome. So he's just saying, keep that same energy. He was so attracted to you that he picked you. He picked you. He put a ring on it. So whatever he did to get you, within reason, try to keep that same energy the same way. Whatever you found attractive in him, you're going to want him to keep that same energy. So Jackie says, you are making some good points, but it's important to note some men like it when their women gain a little weight, not obese though. But here's the thing. You got to ask. You got to ask. So if he likes your gains, ask, babe, I know I put on some weight. The men will tell you. They will tell you. That's the point. They will say, baby, okay, I see you working out, but don't lose that booty. Whatever he's telling you, boom, that's it. He is your target audience. So just like Jackie said, you know, it's about the man. Find out what your man wants. Tamika says, I can agree that a woman should maintain herself. Sometimes we are just single for a while, and sometimes when we're single for a while, you can get complacent. So I agree. And when we're married, we can get complacent. So we just have to keep that same energy. Now, this is where a lot of people went nuts because he said the Butch comment, the famous Butch comment. He said, men have a need for their women to look like women and want them to look good at home and in public. He mentioned specifically wearing flip-flops all the time, sweatpants all the time, pajamas to the store, pajamas around the house all the time. This is where the clickbait people get off. They're acting like a woman can't ever be comfortable. She needs to be walking around in full beat, full hair, full makeup, and high heels. No. Any guy will tell you he likes it when his woman can relax, put a little ponytail in and be cute. However, every now and then, remind him that you're a woman. There's a reason why he's not with the man. Because he likes the woman's physique. And if you're wearing big old baggy sweats, you don't look like a woman. Most guys get excited when a woman puts on a pair of heels every now and then. Just switch it up from time to time. I'm not saying be unrealistic and be uncomfortable and you got to wear lingerie to bed every night. A lot of guys don't even like lingerie. They're like, it gets in the way, just go naked. but just remind him that he is with a woman. That's what he's saying. He mentioned the haircut. He mentioned the haircut, the super short haircut. And a lot of women will do, you know, that little look. Who is it? Jada Pinkett, she's got a short haircut. Halle Berry got a short haircut. But a lot of guys will say it takes a real certain face to pull it off. So if you have the ability to wear your hair in the way that he likes it, what's the harm? Does it take a little more effort? Yes, it does take effort. Having my hair long, it's work. It takes me about 2 hours to blow it out and straighten it. A lot of times I'll wear it curly so I can just wet it and go. But if my man prefers straight hair, I'm willing to put in that 2 hours once a week, because as a black woman, I don't have to wash it every day. But if my husband likes it curly, because I've dated guys who like it curly, even better. I can just wet it and go. But the point is, the sentiment beneath it is, if you love your partner, then why not cater to him? Chastity says, see, men like sweatpants. I don't care what nobody says. But here's the thing, and this is where you can't take things super, super literally. There's a way you can wear sweatpants that looks like Fashion Nova. There's another way that you can wear sweatpants that make you look like a slob. You guys, we all know the difference, okay? Nobody's complaining about yoga pants. We're talking about the slovenly, baggy, unattractive, does nothing for your figure sweatpants. We're not talking about the cute little trendy ones with a little halter top and a little tank top. No man is complaining about that. We're talking about looking slovenly. And here's the thing. A lot of times we go off of what we like, or what our girlfriends like. And he mentioned that. He said, don't go off of what you think looks cute. Don't go off of what your girlfriends think looks cute. Get your man's take. This is not to say that you can't enjoy what you enjoy, but it's make him feel like he's a part of the process. You've seen that meme. What would you do, guys, if your woman came home and she just had chopped off all her hair? It's not that he's the slave master and she needs to, oh, master, is it okay if I go change my hair? It's not that. The underlying sentiment is, I don't give a damn what you think. I'm going to do me. And honestly, if you have that attitude, you shouldn't have a partner. You shouldn't. You guys, I told you, I'm not going to be politically correct. But if your main and only concern is, I'm going to do what I like it, so he should love it. No. You would want your partner to care. So show him that you care. Fellas, am I wrong? Fellas, am I wrong? Am I speaking for you? Because I'm passing on what I hear men say over and over. It doesn't matter their race, their age, their demographic, their country. They all tell me the same thing. He said, newsflash, men love the sundress that bounces when you walk. Ask a man, I'll wait. They have a whole sundress season. I know. Men love it. And guess what? Sundresses are things that only women wear. Men love stuff that only women have. Typically, women have long hair, okay? Typically, women only wear dresses. Typically, women only wear heels. Men love being reminded that they are with a woman, okay? Heterosexual men, anyway. Okay, he said we're hitting the nail on the head. Because a lot of times women see me and they go, well, you're a woman, you don't know. So men, I need you to let me know if I'm preaching. If I'm preaching to the choir, if I'm preaching the truth, let me know. So we're getting facts, agreed. He said, do you if you want to stay single. Exactly. I can do me all day long. I can have a bald head, wear baggy sweats, and, smell bad. If I want to be single, I can stay single. I can do whatever I want. She said, I don't feel like you're wrong, Yancy. I know you didn't ask me, but LOL. No, I still appreciate your opinion. I just want to make sure for the women watching that they understand that even though I'm a woman, I'm hitting the nail on the head, as they said. Jermaine says, we should all be trying to be our best selves. In marriage, you should consider the other person's opinion. Too many times, our look reflects the attitude of convenience. Ooh, reinvent yourself while keeping your partner's opinion in mind. And here's the thing. He said, I think your short haircut suits you, Tamika. How cute. But that's the thing. This is not a blanket statement. This is not saying no women can have short hair. It's, does it look good on you? And is that the opinion of the man? Okay? Because all your girls can think it's cute and the men could be like, hate it. So right there you have a man co-signing it. If the majority of men are co-signing it, you're probably Gucci. You're probably one of those rare women who have that beautiful face and cute head shape that can pull it off. Me, that's not my testimony, okay? I had a little bob, I think when I was 18. I looked like a freaking bobblehead, okay? That's not my testimony. I can't do that. I get so many compliments all the time about my hair. I was not getting them left and right when my hair was short, okay? So I'm just, don't shoot the messenger. Again, within reason. It's whatever the men in your life, or or the strangers even better, are saying. That's pretty much a rule of thumb. You can take that to the bank. Okay, what else did I want to say? Okay, so a quote from this book, His Need, Her Needs. He says, the author says, take great pains to look like the woman he fell in love with and married. So that's that whole keep that same energy thing. So how can a woman improve? How can women improve? What were the examples that the pastor, because this is what this is about, this guy that's getting canceled, what were the points that he was making? He said, wait. And he made a joke, okay? But it was lighthearted and everybody there was laughing, okay? You could hear the audience. He said, what is the difference between a man's girlfriend and his wife? He said, about 60 pounds. We know this is true because what did we say? The freshman 15 and the married 30, or whatever that saying goes. We know that it's true. Now, like the women brought up earlier, well, what about the men? How dare they? Yes, a lot of men let themselves go too. But here's the thing. A lot of women are down with dad bods. A lot of women don't care as long as he's bringing in the money. But we're talking about women right now, okay? Just because the person might not be this great specimen doesn't mean that that's not what he's attracted to. Look at so many women. Look at Tamar, okay? Tamar was with a guy who was making buku bucks. He was hella out of shape. There were so many people I could name that are very much overweight. I mean, there's so many that come to mind, but I don't want to be offensive by naming them. I probably shouldn't even said his. But look at all the men who are overweight and their women are totally happy. They didn't gain the weight over time. They married them that way. They met them, dated them that way, because women value historically. I'm sure you can find a person who doesn't agree with me, but that is the outlier. Overall, if you look at the data from the history of time, women have valued resources. Men have valued beauty. This is why women don't get anywhere when they try to position themselves as, I'm a boss, I got money, I got degrees. The men are like, I don't give a crap. What do you look like? It's not politically correct, but it's the data. Don't get mad at the data. I mean, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the data, okay? Women aren't as judgmental when it comes to a man's body. I'm telling you. I literally don't care if he has a six-pack or he has a little pudge. I kind of like a little midsection. It just makes me feel like, he's meaty. I don't know. It just makes me feel like he's there. He's solid. Solid, that's the word. Okay. It says, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Revision over looks. I already got into that. Oh, he also talked about this, and I mentioned it in the 10 Commandments video, which I have been splashing on my IG for the next month. I'm going to be giving you each one, but if you don't want to wait for all 10 to come through this month, you can just watch the video and watch them all the way through. But one of them, I talked about having yourself together, okay? So he specifically mentioned makeup, and now this might sound like a contradiction because a lot of men are like, talk about how much they hate makeup. They don't like you looking like a drag queen. They don't like looking like you fell into a batch of paint. They don't want you to look like a completely different person. But right now, I have makeup on, okay? The light is so bright, it's probably hard to tell. But, I make sure my eyebrows are lined up. I don't have perfect eyebrows. I line them up. I make sure they're nice and clean, and I add a little filler because they're a little lighter on the inside. I put a little bit of eyeshadow. I put a little gloss so my lips pop. And I put some foundation to kind of smooth out, make it look like it's real soft and smooth. And I have blush. But I go on camera without makeup, and most people don't even know the difference. It's because I don't pack it on. But I guarantee you, when I'm dating somebody and I put on my makeup and I do my hair and curl it and all this stuff, the guy, he gives me a reaction. I've talked to so many boyfriends and they've said, you are beautiful. I love that you have a natural beauty. I could wake up next to you. You also really are a stunner when you get dolled up. So it's about having that balance. And what I said in the 10 Commandments is, don't you dare go out without him looking on average better than you do on his arm. If when you go out for a girls' night and you go out for drinks with your friends and you go out by yourself to go, do an appearance or whatever, don't look better without him than you do when you're on his arm. And also, think about this. Yes, we get comfortable at home, but if we only get dolled up to go out in front of other people, what message is that sending him? That he's not worth it by himself? Because I guarantee you when you first started dating, even if you're just kicking it at home, you're going to put yourself together. Again, for the people who are going to talk about the outliers, I'm not saying every single day, wake up before he does, put on a full face of makeup, and then walk around the house. I'm not saying that. I'm saying try to be reasonable. Maybe you do it once or twice a week. Just every now and then, just a, hey, I'm a woman. Just a reminder, okay? Make him feel like, damn, I picked the right one. He should look at his wife and just be like, I made the right choice. Don't you want him to feel like that? And you can feel it in a man's energy when he feels like, dang, I got lucky. Let's see. He said, I'm not down with letting ourselves go either. It's not okay for us as men. Let's be healthy and our best physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It's just we can't control you guys. So if you guys want to do that, power to you. That's awesome. Chastity says, security is more important to me. I'm going to get my beautiful man next time, though. I love that. Jermaine says, like what you like, but push men to be in shape or work out. Not a six-pack, but active. It's about health. Oh, yeah. I don't want him unhealthy. I don't want him, like, gasping for air if we go for a hike. No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not down with obese. And it's also harder to, get in and clean everything, because when you start to sweat and there's folds, let me not go there. Okay. So women can do us a disservice by not caring as much about the physical. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. He said, yeah, a lot of men can't tell when you're wearing makeup. Exactly. She said, I don't know how to apply makeup either. Eyeliner, mascara, lip gloss, or lipstick is the best I can do. Yeah, I'm not big on eyeliner. I'm not great at it. But there's so many tutorials out there on YouTube if we want to learn. I have been actually studying eyeshadow because I see some beautiful pictures of the eyeshadow and I'm trying to teach myself. And I've actually gotten positive reactions when I posted pictures with eyeshadow. So I'm telling you, you put time into what you want. She said that's enough. I agree. I can't think of really what else is out there. I'm not into all that contouring and no, don't change my face. Men don't like a lot of makeup. Yes, and exactly, that's my point. We feel fooled. But like I said, I look the same with or without makeup. Jermaine can attest. He's seen me. He's FaceTimed me with no makeup. I'm pretty sure I look pretty much the same. All right, so let's get into, make sure I'm, see, this is why I write stuff down because I don't forget. Woo! He talked about the weight. He talked about makeup. He talked about hair. And one of the other things he talked about was the sex drive. And again, you guys, this is not asking you to go above what you're able. This is asking you to keep the same energy. All right? Type that in the comments if you will. Keep the same energy. That was his message. He's not asking a 5 to go to a 7. He's not asking a 6 to go to an 8. He's saying keep that same energy. So if you came into this relationship and you were the sex kitten, it's reminding me to post on IG. If you were the sex kitten and you were just, and you guys were having hot, passionate sex, if you guys had sex before marriage, and you were just getting it on, don't switch it up once you get married. And of course, people are going to say, well, some women's sex drive goes down because of her hormones and da-da-da. Okay, medical issues aside, don't start to give that whole, oh, I'm asleep, I'm tired, or I'm not in the mood, or I have a headache, or no. Men want to have sex. And if you don't want to have sex, don't be with a man. Period. Point blank. Now, there are outliers. There are some men who don't like to have a lot of sex. There was a guy straight up. I did an interview. He only wanted sex like 2 times a month. He said it feels better when he hasn't had it for a while. But I've only met one person like that. Most guys cannot get enough. They want it as much as they can get it. And they want it from their woman. Okay? And if they're attracted to her, hence all these things that she's done to be attractive, boom, it's amazing. So do not switch it up. And here's the thing, ladies, you have to be honest with yourself. If you don't have a high sex drive, you owe it to the man to have that conversation. Just like you wouldn't want a man who dates you and lavishes you with gifts and does fine dining and he's so romantic and he just makes your toes curl. And then he gets you and he's like, okay, well, I really wasn't about that stuff. I just wanted to get you. That's messed up. That's what a lot of women do. They do all the sexy lingerie. They do all the naughty text messages and the sexy video chats and all this stuff and the dirty talk. And then they get married and they're like, I'm tired. That's not fair. That's not cool. And you don't understand. I don't even understand. The way a man is wired, it is like breath and oxygen to him. He needs sex the way we need food. I think if a guy had a choice to go all day without food but have sex, he might choose sex. Maybe not multiple days in a row, but it's up there with oxygen, air, and water from what I hear. And I keep my ear to the streets. Tamika says, my husband won't have to worry about that. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Thank God. A lot of us have high sex drives, and that's a blessing. I'm just saying, girl. I don't know about these women who are like, I'm just so tired all the time. He said, just have the discussion and be honest about your appetite. Yes, exactly. She said, I want to have sex too, just not that bad. Yeah. So that's what he had to say. And he left with this beautiful, beautiful gem. He left with this story. He said it's a tough choice, Tony. Here's the gem he left with. He gave a story about a knight. And he said it was a knight in shining armor, and he heard a damsel in distress. So he came running, came galloping on his horse. And he came running, and there was a dragon, and the dragon was scaring the damsel. And so he took his sword and he slayed the dragon, and she was, he saved the day, and he went off just feeling amazing, okay? This is what guys love. They love to save the day. He said the next time he heard a damsel in distress, and he jumps on his horse. He's in the knight in shining armor. He gallops to where she is. He sees the dragon, bothering the woman, and she turns to him and she says, here's a rope. Go ahead and wrap that rope around his neck and hang him. So he takes the rope, wraps it around his neck, and he hangs him, and then the dragon's defeated and she's safe. And he's just like, it's not the same. And he galloped away slowly, feeling just blah. And he said, the reason I gave that example is because he said, a man needs to feel like he's your knight in shining armor. He said, women, if you understand men, you will understand his need to feel needed by you and desired by you. And I make the joke a lot. Oh God, the neighbor's making all this noise. I make the joke a lot about, pretending to not be able to open the pickle jar. I mean, that's a small example, and I'm being kind of silly when I say that. But sometimes you need to do the whole, honey, can you open this? Can you carry this? The differences are what men love. They love being needed. They don't want to be your equal. Yes, you're equal when it comes to respect and deserving love and kindness, but you are apples and oranges. Let him be an orange. Let him be citrusy. Let him, have a peel that you need to peel off with your face. I don't know. Just embrace his differences. And just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. Let him be that guy. Let him feel like he saved the day. You don't always have to correct him. You don't always have to one-up him. You don't always have to, come for him. And I'm gonna read into what he said. But I did a post on Facebook and it just went left. I said, men, do you really care about a woman's accomplishments, in the workplace or, scholastically? And they're like, no. The women heard, we don't care. We don't care as in it's not a big deal. What the men were trying to say, because it's the same phrase, but just bear with me. What the men were saying was that when it comes to our needs, it's not a need. It's cool. It's like, oh, that's cool you have a vase, okay? It's not that I'm like, that vase is stupid. You should have never bought that vase. But it's just there. Okay, that's cool. If he has what he needs, if he has the resources, he's not looking at your resources and salivating like, ooh, she's coming to the table with resources. Because if you look again from that masculine energy and feminine energy, masculine energy values being a provider. Divine feminine energy values being a nurturer and a receiver. They take in and make good. So that's why the man leads with, here is what I provide. And the woman says, ah. He provides the date. He provides a good time. He provides the house. He provides the sperm. Okay. And the woman receives. She receives the admiration. She receives the date. She receives the engagement ring. She receives the proposal. She receives the sperm, but she makes a baby. She takes the sperm and makes the baby. She takes the house and makes it a home. She takes the proposal and makes the marriage. We have two different energies. And so the more you try to mirror him and bring to the table what he's already bringing to the table, the more you're going to be disappointed by his reaction. Let me flip it, okay? Women enjoy being feminine and getting themselves together and just being this big peacock. Look at me, I'm beautiful. What would you do if a man came to you and pranced in front of you? I've literally seen this and I'm like, if a man pranced in front of you, look at me, look at me. Look, I got a new haircut. Look at me. Look at my outfit. My outfit's so cute. Look at my shoes. You'd be like, because that's awkward. We are the peacocks. We are the beautiful ones. We're not looking for that same energy that we're giving. We want our complement. We want the yin to our yang. So don't take it personally when you find out what the yang is all about, because he doesn't take it personally when he looks and sees what your yin is all about. He said a man wouldn't prance anywhere. Well, let me just tell you, it was a male who did it. It was a male who pranced. Look at me, look at me, look at my muscles. Rashid said accurate. Awesome. What did he say? Compliment my barbecue? What does that mean? Compliment my barbecue. Is it like bring the side dish? Rashid said, I don't prance. I've met you, at least virtually, Rashid, and I definitely can co-sign that you would not prance. You definitely would not prance and parade yourself in front of a woman. So, class, that is all I have for you today. Professor Yancey, trying to bring you that information. I really, really hope that you guys enjoy it. He said compliment. Oh, compliment my barbecue. You don't mean compliment like, you mean compliment like give me a compliment. Yeah, you can compliment him, but the thing is that we don't want you to ask for the compliment. We don't want you to parade and fish for the compliment. Let us just do it, you know? The women can sashay and prance, but the men shouldn't. We see your haircut. We see your cute outfit. Okay, we taste your good barbecue, but don't prance. Can we be that? Can we be the cute ones in the relationship? Oh, thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. You guys, my aim here is to bridge the communication gap between men and women, because I truly see men and women as like being on different islands. And I want to just build this proverbial bridge so that we can safely cross over to the other side. People are trying to get to the other side and they're swimming in shark-infested waters because there's so much confusion. Chastity says, I can't even prance. I can't. I used to do runway, so I have my whole look. That's prancing. But I'm trying to, build this proverbial bridge so that we can safely cross over to the other side and get what we need. Men want and need women, and women want and need men. We're just freaking misunderstood. Rashid said, hope this will be available to watch in full later. I will save it. I will save it and post it to my channel. And please, you guys, share it if it's something you find valuable. My heart bleeds for this information to get out. When I see women, patronizing other women or pandering to them rather, and saying all this girl power, She-Ra, F those men and girl boss. Now, I'm not saying girl boss is bad. I'm in context, okay? They are taking truths and saying them in a way that does not serve the woman. So you have all these man-hating, liberated women who are like, yeah, F men, I don't need them. And these women are alone. A lot of them are alone and sad and miserable. If you ask any of these, liberated women, if they had the opportunity to be with a man who adored them, wanted to give his last dime to her, wanted to be a father in their children's lives, was this dream, I guarantee you all of the women would choose that. If, she's heterosexual, she's going to choose that. It's only because of the disappointment and hurt that bitterness is set in. Nobody actually hates the opposite sex. They hate the pain that they've gone through. So I want to, she said, I never say I don't need a man. I know that's right. Look, I love me a man, especially a chocolate man. Woo, Lord knows my heart. So I want to end with this. These are the consequences of the cancel culture. These are the consequences of, just the clickbait headline and the word getting spread and nobody watching the full video in context. Nobody looking to see what's the backstory. Why was he sharing what he was sharing? Men should be able to speak their truth without being shamed and punished. If men are not allowed to speak their truth, women should not be allowed to speak their truth. People should be jumping on the bandwagon if a woman says, I want a man who makes 6 figures. They should be jumping on a bandwagon when a woman says, I want a man who is over 6 feet tall. They should be jumping on the bandwagon when a woman says, I want a man with muscles. We cannot have it both ways. We have to have equal standards. We work so hard to have equality. Let's not swing that pendulum the other way and make it to where women can do all these things but men can't. It's not cute. And I will never take sides. I will only be on the side of truth, what I deem to be truth. And I'm always open for rebuttals. I'm open for correction. I'm open for people's feedback. I will assess it. I hope I never get to the point where my pride and ego is so strong where I dismiss somebody without even listening to them out. But up until now, I have been co-signed. When I speak for the men, I'm co-signed. When I speak for the women, I'm co-signed. I am here to try to bring the truth. So here's the thing. We ask men to open up, be vulnerable, speak to me, let me see your heart. But if we do things like this, men won't want to help. That pastor was trying to educate women so that they can have a happier marriage. He was doing it so that their marriage could be more fulfilling. You don't think that making the man happy has, a reciprocal effect on the woman? There's a connection. There's a correlation. The reason why the guy did all that stuff in the beginning to woo you is because he was getting what he wanted and needed. So if we can keep that same energy on both sides, obviously, do I have to say that, you guys? Obviously, keep the same energy on both sides. But this guy happened to be speaking about women. That's why this video is primarily about women. But we need to keep the same energy on both sides. What we did to get them is what we should do to keep them. Okay? Can we let the church say amen? So here's the thing. I'm going to end with this in case people missed it in the beginning. I am not saying that doing all of this stuff will make your relationship affair proof, as this says in the, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Affair proof. That's impossible because that speaks to a person's character. A person of character can have every temptation in the world and not fall into it. Okay. So that's a person's character. I can't say it's going to make it affair proof. However, if you're in Vegas and you're at the gambling table and somebody says this game has a 99% odds in your favor and 1% against you, and this one has a 1% odds in your favor and 99 against you, we're not stupid. We're going to pick the odds that are in our favor. So if you want the odds to be in your favor, take the advice of the pastor. Take the advice that the men are saying. Take the advice of the people that are around you who are getting co-signed by the gender you want. Be a pick me, because we want to be picked, okay? So find out what the people who are picking are saying. Now, if you like this video and you haven't actually liked it, please do so now. It helps dramatically. And if you haven't subscribed and you want more content like this, please do that. You can also find me on social media as Chasing Yancy. And let's see here. I'm trying to do my little I can't find what I'm trying to find here. Oh well, I guess I took it out. Anyway, that's so weird. I didn't realize I took this out. If you guys would like to support me, if you like my content, I've had some people reach out and say, what can we do? I really like your messages. Keep going, keep moving forward. I had it written down. I don't know why my screen is gone. But you guys can go to patreon.com/Yancy. The description, it's also a link in the description rather. It's also on my Instagram, on my bio. If you guys want to support, you can even go as low as like $5 a month. It really, really helps. I quit my job last summer because I believe so much in what I'm doing. I'm living off of my savings for the next 12 months, about halfway through that. And anything you guys can do to support, look, I ain't too proud to ask. So pass the offering plate if you guys want to do that. You can also join my Sunshine Club with one of the tiers on Patreon, and that will give you daily check-ins with me and then weekly check-ins where we do a video chat and we talk about how your week is going. I try to help people stay on their goals. I'm kind of like a virtual accountability partner. So you can do that, but I thank you in advance. If you don't want to support through Patreon, just hitting that like button does wonders. Hitting subscribe does wonders. And sharing my content is gold. So thank you for watching. I so appreciate you guys. That's all I have for now. I'm going to close, but I will see you on Instagram.